people just joined. Thank you guys so much. We're gonna start on the bolster today. So I'm gonna explain it. If you're like, I don't have a bolster, oh no, just grab some bed pillows really quick. So anything like of this general shape, 1 or 2 pillows stacked on top of each other would be good. We're gonna take our hips right on the bottom part of the bolster or the pillows, and then just lay back over it and with your head at the top. So don't have your head hanging off the end. I'd rather you have your hips hanging off a little bit. So make sure your whole head can be on the bolster. And if you're much taller than me and you're running out of space, it's better for your hips to be a bit further forward than for your head to be falling back. Once we get there, we'll open up our arms. We're just gonna stretch out the chest and just kind of relax and deepen into our breath here. So that's why you don't have to have like such a specific bolster. We're really just going for an opening along the chest. So feel free to use a couple pillows stacked on top of each other would do the trick as well. So just keep your gaze up to the sky. Allow your arms to fall open. You can kind of lightly pull your shoulder blades together underneath you so that broadens your chest and your collarbones apart. And just begin to breathe really deeply into your belly and into your lungs. So slow and low breaths. Sometimes when we think about deep breaths, sometimes people want to go like, and I want it to be nice and slow and low and controlled. So low meaning try to start it from your belly into your diaphragm and let it travel all the way up through your lungs, into your chest, and into your throat and mouth. So that's the full extent of your inhale should take up the whole portion of your torso. So slow and low breaths here. Relaxing the shoulders back and open, allowing the chest to stretch, especially as we all probably are feeling a lot of forward roundedness in our shoulders lately. And that can contribute to tightness in the back as well. So we're just going to give that a little reprieve. We'll take a couple more deep breaths here. Breathing slow and low into the belly. You can close your eyes and just try to take this next, roughly hour or less to really focus here on your mat. Kind of allow the worries of the day and of work to set aside. You can come back to them and allow your body to really feel into all the moves and stretches and strengthening that we'll be doing. So just 2 more deep breaths like that. Inhaling through the nose, into the belly, up through the lungs and the chest and throat. Every exhale, releasing tension in your muscles and in your face. Good. 1 more breath. Awesome. Bring your arms up now. Try to keep your elbows at the level of your shoulders. We'll just take some inhales and reach our arms straight back out at like a Y shape. Exhale, pull your elbows in towards you and keep your chest open. So it's kind of like a W shape. So inhale to a Y shape. Again, your arms aren't down here now. Your elbows are kind of at the level of your shoulders. So inhale, Y shape. Exhale, pull the elbows into the sides. 3 or 4 more like that. Inhale, reach. And really, as you reach back, I want you to really reach from underneath your armpits. And then exhale, pull the elbows into the sides. Inhale, reach it back. Exhale, elbows into the sides. Last one. Inhale, Y shape, reach from underneath the arms. So you get a little stretch in your lats. And then exhale, elbows into the sides. Good. Bring your hands down. Just roll off to one side of your pillows or your bolster. And then we'll just move that out of the way. That's all we're going to do with that. But you might want it later for Shavasana, the resting pose at the end of class, so you can keep them nearby in case you want to prop your knees up on that or something later. Come back down onto your back, all the way down, both feet on the floor. So if you've taken class with me before, you know I really care about and like to turn on. We're going to do a version of that, but we're going to keep our upper back a little bit more on the ground than normal because that's going to really make sure we're using our glutes and not using our back muscles. So we're trying to give our back a reprieve right now. So both hands on the thighs, just like this, kind of press gently into your thighs and kind of use that to traction your upper back and ribs on the ground and just lift your hips away. So you can see just I have this space under my hips now, but my upper back right up here on my ribs is still pretty close to the ground, if not touching the ground. If this hurts your knees, just walk your feet more forward and that should hopefully take some pressure out of the knees. Keep your hands, your palms down on the front of the thighs. Keep pressing your hands into your thighs and your thighs up into your hands. Feel how that allows you to lengthen your tailbone and the back of your hips towards the back of your legs, like towards your calves. So you should feel your booty muscles really firing up and starting to engage and build some heat in the lower body. So keep pressing the hands in, lifting the thighs up, keeping that upper back and shoulders resting down. No tension in the neck here. Trying to keep this all happening safely in the lower part of the hips. Good. So we're going to take one more deep breath. And then we'll just lower down nice and slow. Good. Reach your arms back, take a little stretch. Bring your hands down by your sides here. Lift your chest up and just tuck one shoulder blade or one shoulder in towards the midline of your body. So just lift up your chest, pull one shoulder blade under, lift up, pull the other shoulder blade under. So you can see my chest is really open here now. Kind of like the same feeling you hopefully had on your pillows. Press down through your feet again. Try to aim for that same sensation, but lift a little higher. You can either keep your hands down or interlace them underneath you. If you do the interlace, lift and tuck your shoulders one more time. So now your chest should be really open. So we're kind of using the triceps for a little bit more lift and stability. And then just push the knees forward and the chest in the opposite direction. So I kind of have my chest going back and my knees going forward. And the glutes are really on. So I'm pressing into the bottoms of the feet, lengthening forward and back and squeezing the glutes. And hopefully we're not feeling much sensation in the back at all. We should just feel a lot of heat in the booty and in the backs of the thighs. One more breath. And then lower all the way. So just let your arms move out to the sides, use your core, and come down nice and slow. Take your right foot on top of your left knee and let it open to the side. We're going to eventually take this into a stretch, but before we do that, we're going to do some one-legged bridges. So it's going to be a little different feeling, and just try to really focus on keeping the structure, the bony structure of your hips in a neutral position. Place your hands on the ground, press down into your left foot. You can play with moving it in a little bit. Sometimes that can help with some stability. Press down through your left foot, lift your hips up, and try to keep that right knee opening out to the side. So we'll just do 6 of those. That was 1. Exhale, lift. 2, and squeeze at the top. Squeeze that left glute. Down, up. 3, keep breathing. 4, inhale down. Exhale up. 5, last one. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down. Good. So from here, often when we do this pose, I'll have you guys interlace your hands behind your knee. We're not going to do that today. If you need to do that, you totally can, or you can use a strap or a sweatshirt or a resist. A little different. We have to really focus on hinging from our hip here. So I'm not rounding my back to get up. I'm focusing on just letting my femur hinge from my hip, like a door hinge, to bring my knee over my hip socket there. So I'm just going to hold that there. Keep gently pressing the right knee forward. Hopefully I'm getting a nice stretch in my right hip. Deep breaths into your belly. You can take your arms out to the sides if you want, if you're able to keep your arms down and that feels good. Deep breath one more time. Slow and low into the belly. From here, I'll give you an option. You can either stay in the center and interlace your hands and just kind of slowly deepen that stretch by pulling the leg in a little bit more. Or my personal favorite, you can take your arms out to the side and bring your right foot over to the left. Try to keep your right shoulder on the ground. You can keep your leg up here like this, or if you're able to keep your right shoulder down, you can keep coming, and it's a nice, big spinal twist in the lumbar spine, which is that lower portion of our spinal column. So you can stay there. Just if you want, you can gently press that right knee forward using your left hand. Breathe down into your belly, into your lungs. Inhaling and exhaling. Hopefully this should feel really nice. Use your core. Put your hand back down on the ground if you were pushing the right knee forward. Come up and back to the center, and then we'll switch sides. So if you want, you can take a little rotation through that hip there. That was a lot for that right hip. Place the left foot on top of the right knee. So same thing as before. We'll start with those one-legged bridge presses. Press through your foot. Left knee is opening out to the side. Press down into the right foot. Lift the hips up. Squeeze the right glute a lot at the top. Inhale down. Exhale up and squeeze. Inhale down. Exhale up and squeeze. Inhale down. Exhale up and squeeze. Two more. Inhale down. Exhale, lift. Inhale down. Exhale, lift. Good. Down. Same thing. If you need to, you can always put something behind your knee. But if you'd like to try, and I'd encourage you to try, bring your right knee in towards you. Think about hinging at the hips. The whole back of my pelvis and my tailbone is on the ground still. So that really comes from the hips moving as one unit there. As you can see, my back didn't move, just the bones of my legs moved because I'm moving from the hips, and that's what we want to go for. That's going to give us the most stretch through that low back connective tissue down into our legs. If you need to, obviously, always can put your hands there. Take two more breaths, slow and low. Relax the shoulders onto the earth. Nice long spine. Good. Either stay here in the center and interlace your hands behind, and you can just work on pulling that left leg or that right leg in closer to you, or take that hands out to the side, and we'll bring our left foot over to the right. So now you get to see from the side. I'm really trying to keep my left shoulder down on the ground. That's hard. I've obviously been doing this for a while, so if you can't do that, just keep your leg a little bit higher. I'll use my right foot kind of like a kickstand if my left shoulder starts to come up. So just lift that right knee up a little bit more and kind of go at an in-between level. If you're here on the other side, just relax. Try to really turn the chest up towards the sky. Keep that left shoulder on the ground as much as you can. Breathe into the belly and into the hips. You can always take your right hand, gently press forward on your left knee. Just decide if that's something that might feel nice. You don't have to go there, just an option. We'll relax the right hand back down. Use your core, come back to the center, pull it in one last time, and place the feet down. Stretch your left leg long on the ground, flex your left foot. I want you to think about lengthening forward through that left leg. So it's not just flopping there on the ground. It's going to be active and reaching forward. Pull the right knee in towards you and interlace your fingers on top of your right shin. Pull that right knee in towards you and lengthen the left leg forward. On an inhale, think about lengthening through your spine and reaching that left leg forward. On your exhale, lift up, bring your forehead toward your right knee. Inhale down, exhale, come up. Inhale down, exhale, empty that belly out so you have space to come up, bring your forehead toward your knee, just the general direction you're going. You don't have to reach it. Inhale long, exhale, curl it in. Last one. Inhale down and exhale up. Good. All right, other side. Right leg long, left knee in, interlace your fingers on top of your left shin. Flex that right foot and press forward, lengthening the right leg out. Hinge really deep at this left hip here, pulling that in toward your ribs and your chest. Big inhale, reach long through the spine and the leg. Exhale, forehead towards your knee. Inhale down, exhale up. Inhale down, round through the spine, and exhale, bring your forehead towards the knee. Inhale down, exhale, come up. Inhale down, exhale up. Good. All the way down here. Straighten both legs out and just roll onto your belly. So you can stay that same way we just were facing and just roll right over. So this one's going to be a little different. I don't think this is something I've done with any of you before, but hopefully you'll enjoy it. I'm going to stay up so you can hear me better, but I want you guys to bring your forehead to the ground with your arms reaching back and your palms down on the ground. Like your palms should be touching your mat. So your forehead is down, your chin is pulling lightly in. I'm going to stay up a little with my head so you guys can just hear me better. Shoulders roll back, press down into your palms. First, we'll lift our right leg up. So just lift it, point your right toe, press your pubic bone into the earth, and squeeze that right glute a lot. Take 2 or 3 deep breaths. I know it's not the most comfortable position to breathe in, but I want you to think about it's a good opportunity to practice breathing into your back. We can breathe 360 degrees into our body. You don't have to just breathe forward into our bellies. So just try practicing that. One more breath. And relax. Good. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Pull those shoulders back. Press into the palms on the ground. Lift the left leg. Point the left foot back. Straighten out that leg. Squeeze the left glute. Low back stays long by pressing the hips down into the earth still. Breathe into your back. And relax. Good. Next, we're going to do both feet. So same thing. Try to keep the pelvis pushing into the ground so the tailbone stays long and lift both feet up. So your guys' foreheads are resting down. Lift those feet, pull the shoulder blades onto the back. and relax. Good. You can just let your elbows bend out to the sides with the palms facing up. All right. Bring your hands in front of you, come up on your forearms, and then just press into a tabletop. We're gonna do a little flow. Hopefully it'll be 3 different postures that we'll flow through a couple times. Hopefully most of them you're already familiar with. But what we are changing will be when we breathe within the flow to what's normal of when we normally breathe. So just pay attention and listen for those slightly different cues. Toes will come together and your knees will come out towards the edges of your mat. Press your hips back towards your heels. Keep your arms really long and place your foreheads on the earth. So we should have a nice long spine, pretty deep flexion at our hips and knees and ankles. And our arms are really long in front of us to get some stretch on the side of the body there. So this is child's pose. From child's pose, we're gonna inhale, lift up and round our spine or arch our spine to the sky. This is cat pose, but our knees are wide and our feet are still together. So it's a little variation. So that's your inhale. So you inhale up into cat pose. Exhale, let your chest drop between your shoulders, belly still down, and your tailbone slightly lift up, gaze ahead. This is cow pose. So that's the little sequence. So the breath's just a little different and the legs are a little different than normal. So we'll inhale back to cat and just let it flow back to child's pose, and you can kind of slide your hands forward. So we'll go through that a couple times. Inhale, slide your hands back slightly, round your spine, chin in toward your chest for cat pose. Exhale, drop your chest, lift your tailbone, gaze slightly ahead for cow pose. Inhale, cat pose, flowing your hips back towards your heels and sliding your hands forward for child's pose. Inhale, slide the hands back, arch up, cat pose. Exhale, cow pose. Inhale, cat, and flow your hips towards your heels, reach your arms long, child's pose. 2 more times like that, I'll just cue you the breath. Inhale, cat pose. Exhale, cow pose. Inhale, cat to child's pose. Inhale, up into cat. Exhale, cow pose. Inhale, cat, and press it back. Arms long. Let's do that one more time. Inhale up, cat. Exhale, cow. Really feel that movement between the shoulder blades. Inhale, cat to child's pose. Exhale, reach your arms long. Stay here in child's pose. Keep your hips and your legs right where they're at. Move through your spine and walk your hands over to the right. So your right shoulder should be basically close to or touching your right knee. And then really reach through those left fingers. Get a big stretch from your left hand to your left hip. Breathe. Try to push your breath into your left lung, and get a deeper stretch on that left side. Good. Inhale back to the center and then over to the other side. So over to the left. So just moving through the spine, left shoulder towards left hip, and reach the right arm forward. And you guys can rest your foreheads down on the ground there. Really press your fingertips into the earth on that right hand And press your right hip back and down. Breathe into the right lung, kind of ballooning up that right side. So you feel a deeper stretch of the muscles in between the ribs and all along that right side of the body. Lateral flexion, and we'll do a little rotation for the spine now too. If you're getting really tired with your legs and hips like this, you can just come up a little bit for this next one, okay? That's getting to be a lot. Wherever you're at, even if you're here, just keep your forearms away from the ground. So just lift up slightly. Take your right arm, thread it underneath your left, and bring your right ear to the ground. Right palm is facing up. The left arm is reaching forward. So I'm gonna stay here so you guys can keep hearing me okay, hopefully. But your right ear should be on the ground. So a little twist through the spine. Take one more deep breath. Really press into that ground. Right arm stays long. So it's more of a twist through the upper back and shoulders. Deep breaths into your belly, into your back. Good. Take one more breath. And come back to the center. Come up into a tabletop position. If you'd like, stretch one leg back at a time. That was a lot for the knees and the hips, I know. So feel free to stretch that back. Extend them again, get some blood flow flowing through back there again. All right. We're gonna go from here, we're gonna work on some core and back strength. So it's gonna be great. Hopefully you guys like it. Keep your fingers spread apart. Hands are roughly under your shoulders. Keep your core engaged here. So one of the things I always see, and that's hard when people are practicing at home that I can't see, is if people will be often here with their heads and then they're drop into their shoulders as well. So it looks more like this. I want you guys to try to strive as much as you can on your own body. So keep your shoulders on a neutral position in your back and your head in line with the rest of your spine. So try especially to not let your head drop down here. Keep that all in line. Press down into your left hand. Reach your right arm forward. So first we're just holding this here, breathing into the belly. Palm faces in, thumb is up. Stretch from under that right arm in a good position on your left side. You can feel the stability there of your shoulder blade. Take one more breath. Deceptively hard, hopefully. And then bring the right arm down. All right, other side. Press into the right hand. Lift the left arm forward. So make sure the chin is in line with the rest of the spine. Press down into that right hand. Try not to lock your elbow out forward like I was just doing. Reach through those left fingertips, thumb up, palm facing in. Pull the belly up and in. Keep that core engaged. Nice deep breaths here. And then we'll bring that left hand down. Nice job. So hopefully that was deceptively hard. Slide that right foot back now. Keep the toes tucked. Same thing, arms, shoulder blades are in a neutral position on your back. Head is in line with the spine. Lift the heel up so that the leg is in line with the right hip. Just hold that. So first we're just holding this here. Strengthening the muscles in the back of the leg. Make sure you're not tipping your pelvis open here. You're keeping everything nice and neutral and squared towards the mat below you. One more deep breath. And relax. Other side. Slide that left foot back. Tuck the toes. Engage the core. Press down into the hands. And then lift the left foot up. Keep that in line with the left hip. Keep the core engaged. Try not to spill your belly down. Keep it lifted, pulling up and in. So it's kind of a whole core engagement here. Your core is your front and your back muscles. One more breath. And relax. Good. We're going to take a little break off of our wrists because I know it's a lot for people. But it's going to be a break off of our wrists, but it's not necessarily a rest. So don't get too excited. We're going to come down onto our forearms. Keep your hands together here and your elbows right under your shoulders there. So if you're doing it right, you should be able to let your head dangle without it touching the ground. So I have like an inch or two of space between the crown of my head and the mat so that my neck is really relaxed here. So if you're sinking in your shoulders, you're probably going to hit the ground. So try to push down into your elbows. So when you get into that position, just let your head relax, engage a great angle at the knee on the right leg, and then bring it into some circles. So just circle that out. So we'll do a couple one direction, really squeezing the glute. The left glute is also helping us stabilize, and we're getting some strength through the shoulders. Keep pressing down into the elbows. Go the other direction with your circles. Breathe into your belly. Don't forget to breathe here. Also deceptively hard. Good. And other side. So right knee is in slightly in the middle a little bit for some better balance. Lift the left leg back. Flex the foot and bend the knee at a 90-degree angle. Take some circles, keeping the pelvis nice and stable, and just trying to move through the left hip socket. Breathe into your belly, press into those elbows. Good, and then opposite direction. Couple like that. Deep breaths. 2 more circles. 1 and 2. Good. All right, back up onto your wrists. See, I told you it wasn't that much of a break. But you're hard on your wrists, so that was nice. Slide your right leg back. Tuck the tail, reach in opposite directions. Lift the belly up. That's how this is going to help you get back reprieve. If you're spilling your belly down, it's going to crunch that back. So make sure it's lifted up so it can stay nice and long. Big inhale, reach it long. Exhale, bring your elbow to knee underneath you. Inhale, reach it long. Exhale, left elbow to right knee in the center. 3 more. Inhale, long. Exhale, center. Inhale, long. Exhale, center. Last one. Inhale, reach it long. Exhale, come to the center. Place your left hand down. Try to bring your right foot in front of your left knee, just like we did on our backs. If this is too much, walk your left foot back and then try to slide it in front. So your left knee is a little further behind your left hip. Once you get in some variation of that position, you can take your hands a little wider, and we're gonna cat-cow our spine here again here to stretch out this right hip. Inhale, drop the chest, lift the tailbone up. That's how you'll get the best stretch on that right hip. Gaze slightly ahead. Exhale, round the spine, pull the belly to the chest. Inhale, make a U shape with your spine, gaze ahead, lift that tailbone up. Exhale, round. 1 more. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Good. Bring that knee forward and then slide it back. So you're back in a tabletop, and we'll do the other side. Yay. Slide the left leg back, tuck the toes. Lift the left heel up to the level of your hip. Right arm forward, palm facing in with the thumb up. Hold it long. On an inhale, reach in opposite directions. Exhale, right elbow to left knee in the center. Inhale, reach it long. Exhale, elbow to knee in the center. Inhale, reach it long. Exhale, center. Last one. Inhale, long. Exhale, center. Bring the right hand down. If you can, slide the left foot in front of the right knee. Widen your hands a little bit. Always option to bring that right knee further back for some more space in the hips. Inhale, cow pose. Draw the shoulder blades together. Lift the tailbone up. Exhale, round the spine. Chin in towards the chest. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Last one. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Good. All right, slide that leg back. From here, let's stand up on our knees. So now we're going to use the blocks in this next little sequence. So if you don't have specific blocks, you can use textbooks, other types, bigger, thicker books. We're not using it for anything like super special. We're just using it so that when we hinge forward in a second, we can get our hands to the blocks instead of hands to the ground since that's so far away. So just whatever you can use. Hands, or the blocks, toward the sides of your mat. Stand up on your knees, facing your blocks here. Step your right foot forward. First, let's wiggle that right foot a little further forward than 90 degrees. And then squeeze this left glute and bring your hips forward of your left knee. So if you're doing this with integrity, you shouldn't feel any compression in the low back because your glute should be on and helping your tailbone to lengthen. So we should feel some pretty good openness there, hopefully. We'll get a really nice stretch on that left front of the thigh. So now with our hips forward, our knee is back over in a 90-degree angle on our right side. Inhale, lift your arms up. Reach from under your arms. Keep squeezing that left glute. Left glute stays on the whole time. One more inhale. Pull your shoulders back. So now this is just a little different stretch on the front of the left thigh. Should feel it kind of into our lower abdominals maybe. Pull the chest open. So we get a nice stretch and opening along the chest wall again. Good. And then we'll come up and we'll do the other side. So really I wanted you to feel that along here and maybe into the lower abdominals a little bit. Step the left foot forward. So start with your hips, squeeze your right glute and move your hips forward of your right knee. But keep that right glute on to keep this low back long. Inhale, lift your arms up. Reach from under your from under your arms so you get some length in the side body. Squeeze that right glute, gaze ahead. Exhale, bring your hands down, together, and then squeeze that right glute a lot. Push down into the blocks. Deep breaths into your chest and into your belly. Good. Come back and step it back. All right, so now we've got some stretch on the front of the body. Hopefully that feels really good because we're probably like this a lot right now. So all these muscles get really extra tight. So when we can get some length and opening in there, it can really help the back as well. Now we're going to stretch the hamstrings though, everybody's favorite. Step your right foot forward, flex your right toes. When we bring our leg forward like that, we often will askew, like our hips will go kind of askew. So just bring your right hip back so it's level with your left hip. Start with your hands on your hips. Keep your spine nice and long. Keep your chest open and hinge forward at your hip. Flexing the right toes. The blocks are there. You can keep hands on your hips or hands can come to your books or your blocks or whatever you're using. Press down into that right heel a lot. It's going to activate the muscles on the back of the leg and help you from overstretching. Deep breaths into your belly. Feel into that sensation. Don't shy away from it. Breathe into the belly. Let everything relax, even through some intense stretch. Good. All right, come up nice and slow. Slide the right leg back. We'll do the other side. Step the left foot forward. Straighten it out. So you can see my hips are kind of uneven. I'm going to bring my left foot in a little and then slide my left hip back. Flex the left foot. Squeeze the right glute. Press down into the left heel. Keep your spine long and hinge right from your hips. It's almost like you're trying to bring your belly to your thighs, to your left thigh. Hands on hips or hands on the blocks. Pull the shoulder blades back. Deep breaths. Good, one more breath. Inhale, come up, slide the left foot back. Last stretch here in this kneeling position. Step the right foot forward. If you'd like, tuck the toes on the left foot. So now I'm in a 90-degree angle front and on the back leg. Right hand stays on top of the right thigh here. Lift the left arm up. Reach from under the left armpit, squeeze the left glute. Tip over to the right, left hip, front of the left hip and the left side of the body. You can always bring your right ear towards your right shoulder. Relax your neck there. Inhale, come back up. Hands to the hips. Step the right foot back. Other side. Tuck the right toes if you'd like, or you're able. Step the left foot forward. Keep that 90-degree angle on both legs. Squeeze the right glute. Left hand rests on the left thigh. Right arm reaches to the sky. Reach from under that right armpit. Tip over to the left. Left hand is there for some stability, so keep the pelvis neutral. Squeezing that right glute a lot. If you'd like, let your left ear relax towards your left shoulder. Good. Inhale back to the center and come back. All right, we're going to stand up from here. So come up however you'd like, but put your blocks off to the side. And stand up. Come to one end of your mat or wherever you're standing. If you're not using a mat, just give yourself some space. You want your feet about hip width distance apart. From here, we're going to bring our arms up and on an inhale. Up to the sky, fingertips touch. Once we're up with our arms, come up onto your tiptoes. Exhale, heels down. Keep your spine long. Bend your knees, send your hips back. Bring your belly to your thighs and place your hands on the ground. First here, we'll just let our head relax and get a nice back stretch. So clasp, opposite elbows and relax your head. You can shake your head yes and no, or side to side. Just let gravity give you some traction from the neck. Hopefully feels really lovely. Good. Press through your feet. Keep your spine nice and long here so you can see how long my back is right now. Press all the way up. Hands come up and touch and up on your toes. Heels down, hips back, spine long, belly to your thighs, hands to the ground. So a few more of those just like that. Inhale all the way up and up on the toes. Exhale down, hips back, fold forward, bring your belly to your thighs. Inhale up, arms up on the toes. Exhale down, hips back, spine long, hands to the ground. Two more. Inhale all the way up and up. Exhale down, hips back, belly to thighs, hands to the ground. Last one. Inhale all the way up. Reach up on the toes. Come to the center of your mat. Step your right foot forward and your left foot back a step. So I'm not in a super wide stance like in a warrior two, a little bit more narrow than that. Toes forward on the right foot, left toes out just slightly. Squeeze the left glute. Bring the knuckles together like this. The elbows out to the sides. Bring the knuckles towards the chest now, and the elbows will point forward. And then chin to chest, push your chest back and your elbows forward. Inhale, come up, reach your arms long, and reach them back. And again, knuckles together, then to chest, elbows forward. Good. Inhale up, we'll switch sides. Left foot forward, right foot back. Right toes out slightly. Bend the left knee. Squeeze the right glute. Arms open. Exhale, knuckles together into your sternum and your elbows are forward. Chin to chest. Push the elbows forward. Inhale, open. Reach them back like the bow of a ship. And then forward, together, and elbows come forward. Push the chest back and the elbows forward. Inhale and come up. Good. Last stretch here. Feet nice and wide, or standing stretch. Just a couple side lunges with a twist through our spine. Pose. Exhale, right knee bends, left hand down, right arm up. Inhale, star pose in the center. Exhale, left knee bend, right hand down, left arm up. Inhale, up center. Exhale, right knee bend. Inhale, up. Exhale, right knee bends, left hand down, right arm up. Good. Inhale, come up. Step your feet together. Sit down. Bring your feet together and your knees nice and wide. You can hold on to your feet here or press out and down gently on your knees. Take a couple deep breaths. Try to keep the spine nice and long. On your next exhale, if you'd like, you can go nice and slow. Make sure this feels okay on your back. You can start to gently round forward. Bring your chin in to your chest. I like to gently press out and down on my elbows for some extra stretch on the inner thighs. Inhale, come up, and we'll make our way on. Take a big inhale. On your exhale, let your knees come over to the left. Squeeze that right glute. Press into the inner edge of your right foot. So you want to just feel a tiny bit of lift in that right hip. Take a big deep breath. Inhale, come up to the center. We'll go to the other side. So over to the right. Press into the inner edge of your right foot and squeeze your right glute. And that'll kind of press your right hip a little forward. And you'll hopefully get a little stretch on the front of the right hip. Good. Inhale and come back to the center. Slide one leg long and then the other. So if you'd like and your pillow is still nearby, you can grab that and put it under your knees, and that'll be some nice support for the back. It's a little easier on the back than the legs just long on the ground like this. Tuck one shoulder then the other, palms up, and close your eyes. Breathe deeply into your belly. Release any last bit of tension here. It's always a nice time to feel into the residual energy from in the cells. Feel free to stay here as long as you'd like. I want to honor everyone's time. You guys will have access to this video later on. So if you do it again, you can just pause it and take as long as of a shavasana as you'd like. But just for the sake of time, we're going to reach our arms straight back, stretch from fingers to toes. Exhale, roll to one side and bring your knees up and in, like a kind of fetal position. And then slowly come up to a seat. Place your hands in front of your heart. Take this last moment here, or take as long as you would like again, to stay here and meditate, pray or chant this class. I hope that leaves you feeling energized and a little bit more fluid in your spine, and a little bit more open to the energy to flow throughout your bodies. I hope that everyone's doing well. Miss you all in Denver here.